This has got to be one of the most offensive statements ever made by the President of the United States towards our service members and their families. Yes, I'm talking about Donald J. Trump.
What'd he say?
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
That's very easy to say for somebody that never served his country in any branch of the armed forces of the United States.
Damn.
Also, that's very easy to say that when none of your family members are serving on the front line to defend this great nation against a war that you just started.
Damn.
I've got a question for you. How many generations of Donald Trump's family have served in the military? 0.
Damn.
The United States and Israel has launched a dramatic airstrike campaign targeting Iran, and Iran has responded with fire across the wider Middle East, including attacks on Israel. We've also seen Iran launch assaults on Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and even the United Arab Emirates.
Damn.
Yes, I truly understand that service members raise their right hand to defend this great nation and the Constitution against foreign and domestic enemies.
So, what are you saying?
But I also understand that the President of the United States should not have said this publicly to the American people.
That's right.
This is the guy that gets up there and say this so nonchalantly.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
Yes, there's going to be casualty, and we may lose some of our great warfighters. Family members has to deal with enough when their service member go into battle. Now, to hear the president just come out and say this blatantly, it's a lack of respect for the service members and their families.
He ain't lying.
And now it has been reported that 3 U.S. service members has been killed and 5 wounded in this operation against Iran.
CENTCOM U.S. military officials confirming 3 U.S. service members have been killed, 5 others wounded as part of Operation Epic Fury. This coming amid growing turmoil in the Middle East as the U.S., Israel, and Iran trade fresh strikes after the killing of Iran's supreme leader. Iran targeting Israel and U.S. allies in the Gulf.
Now, how do you think those service members feel about your statements about their family members being killed now, Donald Trump? Because this is a war that didn't need to be started.
Message.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
Yeah, that's you, Donald Trump. You said that about Barack Obama. But Barack Obama did put in place a deal with Iran so they wouldn't get nuclear weapons.
Today, after 2 years of negotiations, the United States, together with our international partners, has achieved something that decades of animosity has not. A comprehensive long-term deal with Iran that will prevent it from obtaining a nuclear weapon. This deal demonstrates that American diplomacy can bring about real and meaningful change. Change that makes our country and the world safer and more secure. This deal is also in line with a tradition of American leadership.
But you stepped in, and what did you do? You ripped that up. And now we're in the situation that we're in because of you and Benjamin Netanyahu.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Benjamin Netanyahu has always wanted to go to war with Iran.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly. If they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
You were the passy that he was waiting on to do his bidding.
Damn.
We thank President Trump and acknowledge the close cooperation between Israel and the U.S., which has brought the alliance between our countries to an all-time high in peace and in war.
You did the bidding of Israel.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Why would you put our service members in this situation when you yourself probably could have negotiated a deal that wouldn't have to result into these service members losing their lives?
Ain't that the truth?
But yet we're here now. And we're probably going to be in this situation for a long time to come. And it's going to be more service members killed because of a war that you and Benjamin Netanyahu started. So what are you going to tell the families?
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties.
Family members not want to hear that. They want their loved ones to come back to them, not be lost overseas in a war that shouldn't have been started in the first place.
Free brother!
Now, I know some people probably going to say, man on the street, you're talking a lot about somebody that never served. Did you serve? Yes, I served 23 years proudly in the United States Army. Retired in 2015.
That's right.
And I also have family members that also served this great nation. And some even gave their life in defense of the Constitution and the United States. And to hear Donald Trump get up there and say what he said, like I said earlier, is disrespectful. To hear my aunt get that call about her son being killed in Afghanistan is something that I don't believe that she will ever forget or her sons and daughter will ever forget. But yet he can say that because, like I said earlier, his family is not the ones that's going to be fighting this war.
Preach, brother. That's totally the theme.
Now, with that being said, I would like to hear from the MAGAs out there. What are they saying about what Donald Trump said?
Can I change my pick?
Because in his campaign, what did he say? I'm not going to start any new wars.
Great nations do not want to fight endless wars. We're getting out of the endless wars. We have to do it. No new wars. We don't need the wars. Foreign lands, countries you've never heard of, countries that don't even want us there. We will keep America out of foolish, stupid, ridiculous foreign wars. The plan is to get out of endless wars, to bring our soldiers back home, to not be policing agents all over the world. We were crazy what we did. We had these endless wars that go on for 21, 22 years, spending billions and billions of dollars.
He said he ended 8 wars, then he started 1. Kamala Harris was right when she said this statement.
Well, I serve on the Senate Intelligence Committee, and I know we're going to be briefed. But short of having that information, listen, we have to look at this in the context of other behaviors by this president as it relates to Iran. He took unilateral action to withdraw us from the Iran nuclear deal. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Some people thought it should be stronger than it was, but it was very well negotiated, and people were complying with it. And he pulls us out of it based on unilateral action, frankly, from my perspective, born out of his fragile ego. And everything that we have seen happen since was predictable to one extent or another.
And a lot of MAGAs are basically saying the same thing as well, because they're saying that this is not what we signed up for. We signed up for a country that's not going to get our service members back into a long-time war. And yet Donald Trump did it within a year.
Damn.
So let me know in the comments below on what y'all thought about what Donald Trump stated in his statements about service members may losing their lives because of this war that he started with Iran. The man on the street wants to know.